Hi survivors, today we find oil. This is Ark Survival Evolved from the beginning, episode 34. I'm the Immortal Adrian, and in the last episode we collected some more crystal. We still don't have enough crystal to do what I'd planned, so we're going to have to wait for a couple of days for the crystal to respawn on the hill so we can get some more, and maybe we'll have to go into a cave because there's a lot of crystal in the caves. Okay, so we got a Brontosaurus in our neighbourhood, and he's left an egg. I suggest you don't take the egg unless you're ready to kill the Bronto, because as soon as you take the egg, he will kill you, he will wreck your base, he will just upset your game. So we'll just leave him. He's not too bad. If you have problems with him, his footsteps shaking, I've got the camera shake scale down to 0. And that stops your earthquake effect every time he walks around. So if that's annoying you, that's the cure for that. So we're going to do something else now. We're at the point where we can build a fabricator. And one of the things we need for a fabricator is oil. And just outside of our base, there is an oil node. And the oil node is underwater. So we take our trusty swimmer and we come up here a little bit. Now you're probably going to have to find this. There's usually rocks on the side, but yeah, that little cluster of rocks there, or this little cliff face here, when you get to know your local area. So just offshore from here, you'll notice there's a ledge, and then the ledge gets suddenly very deep. Now, that's an oil node. See that with the oil dribbling off it? You can see these streams of oil coming off it. So if we come down to this rock here, we jump off our swimmer, and then with our pick, just pick around at this and keep your eye open. There are megalodons, that's those sharks. So it's all quiet at the moment. The piranhas are usually in the shallower waters, but they will come and get you. So we're safe, actually. I got a good amount of oil that time. We can jump back on Itchy. And we'll go back up onto our ledge here. And figure out where we are. There's our base over there. We'll just come straight in here. And it's that easy. So now, it's that easy if you've got a Ichthyosaurus, mind you. If you haven't got an Ichthyosaurus, you're going to have to swim for it. You're going to have to do it the hard way, and you're going to run out of oxygen. You'll get a little bit. You can do it. That's how I used to do it before I learned about the Ichthyosaurus. You can increase your oxygen stats every time you get a point. Put some more points on your oxygen. But as you just saw with the Ichthyosaurus, we did it in one hit. And let's have a look how we went. Look at that. We got over 100 oil. So what we're going to do with this oil, we're going to make this fabricator, and all we need now is spark powder. We need cementing paste, crystal, metal ingots, oil, and spark powder. So we've gone through everything else, and you know how to make your spark powder. That's pretty simple. That's just stone and flint ground up in your mortar and pestle, and that all goes into our smithy, and now we got the fabricator. I'm going to right click and craft one. Now I'm going to take most of this oil that's left. I'm going to take 45 oil, and I'm going to take some some hide. I'm going to take this 96 hide and a pinch of wood and put that into our fireplace. Into our forge. Let's get this right. Oil, hide, and a bit of wood, light this up, and oil and hide will create gasoline. It'll only take about a minute, and we should have the first. There we are. Bam, look at that. Now it's roughly 6 oil and 5 hide will give you 5 gasoline. I don't think it's roughly, I think it's exactly. So I'll take that gasoline and we'll open here, and here's our fabricator. So right click, place the fabricator, who's pretty big. I'm going to put him against this wall here because I'm also going to run all my electricals, because the fabricator will run on gasoline or electricity. So there it is. Now what I do is a little trick for beginners. Just put one gasoline in at a time, because if you forget to turn it off, it'll just burn through all your gasoline. It runs for 15 minutes on each litre, we'll call it, of gasoline, or gallon if you're American. Let me gamma up. It's getting a bit dark here. And so if you leave all of your fuel in, it will burn it all up. So we'll just put in there what we need, just one at a time. So now we've got this thing. What are we going to do with it? Let's have a look and see what it can make. And there's another thing too. If you just hit the E key, it will turn on. And if you hit the E key again, it will turn off, and you've just burnt up your litre of fuel. So be careful not to accidentally turn it on until you're ready to use it. Same as accidentally turning it off. There's nothing more annoying than accidentally turning this thing off. Right. For a generator, which is usually the first thing we make, it wants 10 electronics and 25 metal ingots. Well, metal ingots we got. We're growing metal ingots like on trees, so we'll take some of those. But electronics, now if I haven't mentioned this before, this is electronics. Now that's an engram that I took when I took the fabricator. Now I've got some electronics here. Now I got these from a Tech Parasaur, I think. Now there's Tech Rexes, Tech Raptors, Tech Parasaurs. Of course, we've got a Tech Raptor out there. And so it's worthwhile going out and chasing up these Tech Parasaurs. They're the easiest ones to kill, but also about 4 different Tech animals that you can kill, and you will get electronics, oil, scrap metal, and element sometimes. Anyway, so we've got everything we need now to make this generator, but while it's running, I want to make the cable, the vertical cable, electrical outlet. That needs 15 wood. I think I've probably got enough in here. Yeah, we'll steal that bit of wood, put the wood in here, and get everything ready before you do this, otherwise you waste a lot. Now these lights need some crystal. That wants 10 and that wants 10. We'll have both of those, so let's have 20 crystal. Now, as I said before, we couldn't get enough crystal to do the greenhouse, so we'll just use what we've got for now. And it's not critical, those vegetables aren't critical yet. We can do a lot more before we get to that. Now I think we've got enough to make everything here. So how many points have I got? I've got 3 points. I'll take 1 on health, 1 on fortitude, 1 on movement speed, and then let's see if I can get the fridge. Right, we can get the refrigerator. That's it, to me, is one of the most important things, because that takes the place of your preserving bin. Now, it uses other stuff that's going to cause us trouble. Polymer, 0 of 15. Now, I don't think we got any obsidian, have we? No, we haven't done any obsidian yet. So we won't do the fridge right now. That will be for some other litre of fuel. So, hit the E key. Start this thing. Access inventory. Generator. Craft 1. Vertical cable. Craft 1. Electrical outlet. Craft 1. Omnidirectional lamp post. We'll craft 1 of those. And a standard lamp. We'll craft 1 of those. Now, we don't need all these cables because everything's going to be close enough to our outlet that it should work. So let's take the generators, the cables, the electrical outlet, and those lamps and decide where everything's going to go. I think the generator is going to go right in the middle here. So I place generator about there, and put the riser cable about there. Now that goes in automatically where it needs to go, and the outlet box goes on top of it. There. Now let's have a light in here. We've got these two lights. Now this omnidirectional, this will light up an area, whereas this one, a lamppost, is basically unidirectional. So wherever you put it, that's where it will point. Now, I just can't remember if it's going to point forward or backwards, but I want to put that about here so that it lights everything in front of me. So I'm just going to left click and place that, and you can see that thing appeared. That's electrical connection. So all we need is another litre of fuel to run the generator. Now once we're running the generator, it doesn't matter about the fuel in here, because this will then run off electricity. The fabricator will then run off electricity. So anyway, let's get in the right place. Come on. Right. Access inventory, chuck some fuel in there, turn it on. Generator running, lamp, E, turn on. Lamp running. Now if I gamma down, we got some light. It's not great, as you can see, but it's not too bad. I think we can turn it up actually. What kind of settings have we got? Intensity from high, so it's already set to high. Anyway, you can play with these. You can put dye in them and get different colours. So the omnidirectional light I like to put outside. Now I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just going to quickly place this about there, and no, it's unpowered, so I'm going to pick it up and think about that in the next episode. So I think I'm going to call that an episode there. Okay, that gets your fabricator and your generator running, and the next episode we're going to think about getting some obsidian so we can build a fridge. Alright, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all in the next episode.